Hello everyone. Today we begin one of the most essential topics in C#, which is variables. In this video, we will understand what are variables in C#. Think of variables as the building blocks of any program. Just like we need containers to store water, food, or files in similar way in programming, we need containers to store data, and these containers are called variables. So what is a variable? A variable in C# is a named memory location that can store a value. This value can be a number, text, character, or anything else your program needs to work with. Think of a variable as a labeled box. You can open it, see what's inside, change its content, or even replace it with something else. This is how you define a variable. Int age is equal to 20. Here, int is the data type, which tells what kind of data we are storing. Age is the variable name. 20 is the value. So by writing this line, we are simply asking .NET to store the value 20 in variable named age, and by specifying data type as int, we are restricting this variable to only accept integer values. Let's now understand the naming conventions for variables in C#. These rules are very important, because incorrect variable names can lead to compile time errors or confusion in your code. Think of them as the grammar rules of programming. A variable must begin with a letter or an underscore. In C#, a valid variable name should always start with either an alphabetic character, like small a to small z or capital A to capital Z, or an underscore character. For example, int studentage, int underscore total marks. These are valid names because they start with a letter or an underscore. It cannot start with a number. As mentioned, variable names cannot begin with digits. If you try to write something like int 5 items equal to 10, the compiler will throw an error. C# expects that the first character gives a clue about the variable, and numbers don't serve that purpose. So always begin with a letter or underscore. Example, int 1 score. This is incorrect because it starts with a number. It cannot contain special characters like @sign, %sign, or hash. Variable names should include only letters, numbers, or underscores. Symbols like @ %, or hash are not allowed inside variable names. Examples of invalid names as shown on your screen. Int @age, int price %, int total hash marks. These symbols are either reserved or serve a different purpose in the C# language. Note, it can be used in special cases to allow C# keywords to be used as variable names, for example, @class. But this is rarely recommended and should be avoided by beginners. It cannot be a C# predefined keyword like class, int, or public. C# has a list of reserved words, also known as keywords. These are part of the language itself. You cannot use them as variable names. For example, you cannot do this. Int class is equal to 5. String int is equal to data. Bool public is equal to true. Each of these uses a keyword as a variable name, and this will cause a compile time error. Always choose names that do not clash with C# reserved words. Use meaningful, descriptive names that reflect the purpose of the variable. By following these naming rules, your code becomes easier to understand, less prone to errors, and more professional. So always stick to them when writing C# programs.